It is finally Monday, which means it is time for the XCAL Racing $2 Tuesday Series qualifying for tomorrow night's I Stand with Letto 400. It's going to be a fun one here at the bull ring of Oxford Plains Raceway in the northernmost part of the continental U.S., that being in Maine. Hello, friends. Marty Sakala with you. Glad to be with you on this Monday afternoon to begin the first of 5 heats tonight. We can tell you heat number 1 is brought to you by Sim Racer Coin. Sim Racing Esports meets crypto and blockchain technology. Earn Sim Racer coins, buy setups, paints, coaching, or join realistic leagues. Learn more at simracercoin.org. Sim Racer Coin, racing is life. So as we've got qualifying going on for tomorrow night, we can tell you this. We've got 20 drivers that will take the green for the opening heat. You can see qualifying happening on your screen. Just under 2 minutes out, and right now it is currently Riley Duncan as the pole sitter. Keep in mind these drivers do have to switch their throwbacks for tomorrow night. Throwback week is officially over. 42 entries are on the list as of heat race number 1. That could change before the 11 o'clock heat tonight. And we've got a total of 6 drivers that did not fulfill mandatory minimum practice. So if they make it, there will be an EOL situation in play. Total number of drivers that will make the feature this week is 35, so 7 drivers will be going home this week. We will be taking the top 3 from each heat into transferring. Keep in mind, if you do win in the heats, you've got a chance at getting a pole position. And obviously you will start amongst the top 5. So it looks like we'll have 21 drivers actually about that will be taking the green flag. You'll see guys like myself and Steven Rex up on the lineup, but they are actually not starting because they're not on the entry list, so they're pretty much DQ'd. But pretty much, we look to be all set to go here. Final seconds of qualifying. Keep in mind the Oxford Plains Raceway. Very small bull ring, a circle bull ring to be exact. There is pretty much no room to hide. You make a mistake, it can cost you a lot of spots anywhere on the track, whether it be the turns or the straightaways. Checkers are out for heat race number 1. Again, an FYI, we are only taking the top 3, and we will show you throughout the night the best times on your screen. So we are set to go, and with that being said, let's give you the starting lineup for heat race number 1. Riley Duncan and Aiden McConaughey make up the front row. Duncan a 16.034. Row 2, it's Tyler Jalbert and Alex Halinar. The third row, Chase Johnson and Kenny Tripp. Home race for the Mainly Asphalt / Sullivan iRacing Motorsports team, including Jalbert and Tripp. The fourth row, Matt Bear and Greg Holz coming off 2nd and 4th last time out. Row number 5, Sean Andrews and Gregorio Dorso. Row number 6, I've got Bowen Smith and Travis Sukup. And continuing on, Joe Campbell and Steven Rex. Hopefully this is a little bit wonky. I don't know why it is this way, why it's got some people starting in front, some of them starting in the back. But that's how the lineup looks. Again, keep in mind only 20 drivers or so, 22 drivers actually, will be starting. Let's get some final words here from Aaron Hillebush and PDJ Zeller.
Letto matters. Either way, we've got you covered with 2 new great shirt designs. And by great, I mean cheap. And by cheap, I'm referring to the quality of the material. Go to www.xcalracing.com/shop. Pick yourself up a I Stand with Letto or a Blocking Letto Matters t-shirt to commemorate this event.
Think about it. Imagine if you win the I Stand with Letto 400. Wouldn't you want a t-shirt to remember the event by? That's all I'm saying.
Guys having a little fun with Jeremy Letto, a senior admin of XCAL. Not really liked by a lot of the drivers that are in the field, but respected by others. So that was related to the I Stand with Letto 400. 50 lap heats, by the way. Keep in mind, per XCAL rules, we turn off yellows with 5 laps to go. And something unique about Oxford, 2 pit roads. Let's keep that in mind. So on the front row, Riley Duncan, Aiden McConaughey, 2 of the faster cars we had last week at North Wilkesboro as the pace truck pulls into pit road. The first heat race of the day is green. Tyler Jalbert working with Riley Duncan off of turn number 2. It's Riley Duncan with the early lead. And Jalbert puts the chrome horn on Riley Duncan. A little bit close call there, and it's a huge mess off turn number 4. Matt Bear gets a little bit loose, keeps her straight. We stay green. Jalbert trying to look to the inside on Duncan for the lead. Battle for 4th position as Chase Johnson inside on Alex Halinar for the spot. The 57 takes it away, and for the lead, here comes the weapon. This is his home track, by the way. He races at Oxford Plains Raceway and is a track champion too, so he's going to be a favorite to watch out for tomorrow night. Here comes McConaughey inside on Duncan for P2 on the track. Close there at the line. It's Duncan over McConaughey. Chase Johnson 4th, Kenny Tripp 5th, Alex Halinar 6th, Matt Bear 7th, Sean Andrews 8th, Bowen Smith 9th, and Greg holds his 10th. Change for 8th position. Smith takes it away from Andrews, and now for the final spot, Johnson's got it over Duncan for right now, and Duncan is fading back. The low line, the place to be here at Oxford. You cannot go high at all. Show you as well. Oh, Johnson goes around in the 57. Same with Kenny Tripp, and there's a mess. Robert Colgan's involved. Yellow lights are on. Couple of more drivers.
Fucking Killdozer got candy hard. Alright,
Chase Johnson, Kenny Tripp got a piece of it.
Controls review and
that right front wheel is destroyed on that machine. He'll be done and have to go to 5 o'clock.
I was fucking yellows out for half a lap. Who the fuck hit me like that?
Apologies for the language. Don't know who that is, but that's normal. What do you expect? These drivers are mad. So Chase Johnson in the 57, the first to go around, as we're going to take a look here at the More Polish Pottery replay. And that's off of turn number 2. This happens just about half a lap later. Kenny Tripp gives the bumper to Johnson there in 3 and 4, and the helmet had no patience at all. And then I think the 87 of Halinar got into Tripp and Johnson. I think I saw 2 more cars get involved. One of them was Colgan. There he is. You see Logan Jones just missed it in the 08, and I think that... Nope, there's another one. That is Gerald Poole in the 131. We're about to get the call here.
Now issuing penalties. There are no waiver rounds in a heat race. Guys, when we get to 1 to green, let's double them up as quick as possible. No need to extend.
Yeah, you guys can even start doubling up right now if you know what you got to do. But, okay, so the 12 car got the penalty. He just kind of ran right into the back bumper of Chase, got Chase loose, and that was the first and best penalty of the 12 car in the seat. Double them up, inside, outside. Let's get tightened up here. That first start wasn't horrendous. But, guys, you got to remember, we need to get it to be tighter than it looked that time. It could have been a lot tighter. Good luck for you.
Lights.
Yeah, the front looked good on the back straightaway. The back looked like crap.
Lights are off the pace truck. 1 to go until we get to the green flag. 10 laps will go on the board. This time is Tyler Jalbert, Aiden McConaughey in row 1. Row 2, Riley Duncan and Alex Halinar. Row 3, Bowen Smith, Matt Bear. Row 4, Sean Andrews, Corey Emiliano Dorso, Greg Holtz, Joe Campbell round up the top 10. Away we go once again. Jalbert with the good restart over McConaughey. Riley Duncan currently with the final spot in third. You've got a mess in the back of the pack. One driver has gone around, and I think one of that was Sean Andrews in the 23, who is in the pits. We had another driver spin out. I don't think it was Logan Jones, but I think it was John Fraley. He is off the pace in the 06, so that's a tough break for him indeed. Top three, nose to tail, Jalbert, McConaughey, and Duncan, your transfer spots. Matt Bear currently the first one out. Could we see guys like McConaughey and Duncan risk their lap times for a better one? Right now they've got a 16:21 and a 16:19 respectively. That could put them in the 6 through 10, 11 through 15 threshold, but a change for position. Duncan underneath McConaughey and an easy pass by the 25. The Canadian takes P2 away. Does McConaughey fight back in turns 3 and 4? Thinking about it, trying to put the bumper there. Take you on board here for a lap with Aiden. Show you what it's like around Oxford, especially. These guys aren't even hitting the 100 miles an hour. You're only going like 90 miles an hour or so. And this is interesting about McConaughey because of his gear ratio. He is only using third gear. There is no need for fourth gear at all. Let's see if that's what the top two. Duncan's actually in fourth gear. Jalbert's using third, so it's a little bit of a unique situation, depending on how you got your setup with the gear ratio for 50 laps. You got some going for the 4 gears here. Anyone else in the pack that are doing 3? I think everyone's figured out where they can use that 4th gear and try and find a little extra speed, but you can get that same speed in 3rd gear, depending on how you have your setup. Few tracks on the XCAL schedule where really you pretty much only need 3 gears in the race car. For some others are pretty much all good. We'll show you, by the way, the best lap times when we end, so we can give you an idea of what the starting lineup looks like. Coming to 30 laps to go this time by. Here's Matt Bear and Alex Hallinar. This is a battle for 4th on track. All being patient here. Got to be very careful with how you use the car on the throttle. Just like Bear, he got loose there on the exit. Gassed it a little bit too early. We're going to take you on board here for a lap with Matt. And you hear you can't really go full throttle at all. Indeed, you see the throttle. He's just going just a little bit, not too much. As we got one driver actually that went off track. That's Paul Coleman Jr. But you see what I'm talking about with that throttle? You can't even go full throttle. If you do, especially when the tires are starting to get worn out a little bit, what happens is if you gas, you get a little bit loose because of the way the straightaways are. This straightaway is actually inclined at a weird banking, like a negative something banking. It goes downhill as you go higher amongst the track. Battle for the lead. Here comes Riley Duncan on Tyler Jalbert. They catch up to lap traffic. That's John Fraley in the 06. Should not affect the leaders at all. He's a respected competitor here in XCAL Racing. About 3 car lengths back. McConaughey currently right in 3rd position. Again, Matt Bear the first one out. Alex Hallinar in 5th. Change for 6th spot. It's Bowen Smith. Underneath Gregorio Emiliano Dorso, they touch going into turn 1. That got close there as Dorso falls back. He gets turned from Greg Holes. Nice save from the 78. And that's going to really affect his life. He's trying to gas it, but that's just way too safe. Another driver crashed, by the way. Jose Gaudino in the infield in the 20. Currently running in the 16th position at the time. And his heat will likely come to an end. And he'll bring it into pit road. And now battle for 3rd, I think. Nope, that's McConaughey getting by Fraley. But we're continuing to watch that battle for the race lead. Tyler Jalbert out in front. Riley Duncan in 2nd. Could there be an idea of possibly the bump and run? Dorso was just on the radio. We were trying to get what he said as we were unmuting, but you could tell. I'm guessing he's probably not happy with the way he was raced by Greg Holes. And that was a battle for 7th spot on track. Dorso cost himself 2 spots, by the way, so not really a big factor here as they work on Paul Coleman Jr. in the 66. Austin Edwards will drive that number in the feature, but Duncan all over the back of Tyler Jalbert. That's for the lead. Jalbert a little bit loose there off of turn 4. You can see there, Duncan's a little bit better there on the throttle, on the exit compared to Tyler Jalbert. Seems like Jalbert's being a little bit more conservative on his tires compared to Riley Duncan. 19 laps to go in heat race number 1. This is a nice battle here for pole possibility. Duncan thinking about the bumper on Tyler Jalbert, using that Teddy Christopher method, used him. Nearly moved him out of the way. That got close, but Jalbert still holds serve. Half car length lead over Duncan. And you see McConaughey there in the picture. The pink and black number 85 waiting in the wings. Matt Baer, by the way, update on him. He lost 2 spots, by the way, back in 6th position. Duncan overshoots the corner. Doesn't lose too much to Jalbert, though, as the 04 still maintains pace. 16 to go in heat race number 1. Only 1 yellow so far in this race. That was for the Chase Johnson spin off of Kenny Tripp. Duncan still closing the gap. Working on some more lap traffic. You see there the farther corner of your screen. Gap, by the way, between McConaughey and Hallinar about 0.6 of a second. But Jalbert knows Duncan's using his stuff a little bit, trying to find a hole on the bottom. And Duncan being aggressive here as they're working on lap traffic. Is that Letto in the 17? It is. Let's see if he plays a factor in this battle for the lead. Someone scraped the wall, I believe. Letto gain up a higher two more grooves. In mind with lane situations, it is a judgment call. As Letto lets the top 2 by. There's McConaughey. Him and teammate Hallinar will duke it out for P3. Carlin separates them. We'll watch that battle closely. But heck, Hallinar could make it in if Duncan says, you know what? I don't want it. I want the win. Coming to 10 laps to go in the opening stage. Next lap car is the 51 of Daniel Miller, and Duncan is there from the rear bumper of Tyler Jalbert. He's right there. This is going to be a good finish here to the end. Jalbert all over, trying to figure out what to do as they're still working on some lap traffic. For a chance at the pole. Does Duncan wait to make his move, or does he want to go as soon as possible and put a chrome horn on Tyler Jalbert? We'll have to see. By the way, update, Alex Hallinar off the pace in the 87 unless he lagged. Oh, he lagged. He lagged for a moment. So that got a little bit close. Maybe, hopefully his lap counts. 1 car loose off of turn 2. That was Jeremy Letto. So we're trying to focus on the battle for the lead and the battle for 3rd. Gap closed down to about a half a car length. Coming to 6 to go this time for 3rd, meanwhile, with the teammates. McConaughey and Hallinar. Maybe McConaughey may give up and give it to Hallinar, put him in. 6 laps to go. Next time by, you will hear race director PDJ Zeller say green, 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 which means we are caution free the rest of the way.
Green, green, green.
Duncan all over. They're in heavy lap traffic off of turn 2, nearly side by side. That's the 131 of Gerald Poole. Thanos trying to play some snaps here as Duncan puts a snap on Jalbert off of turn 4. Trying to make a move for the lead. Thinking about going top shelf. Doesn't work. One driver has crashed. That's Paul Coleman Jr. in the 66. He spun in the infield of turns 3 and 4, just in front of the leaders. Continuing on for the lead. It's 3 laps to go. Jalbert versus Duncan. This one is not over just yet. That is ginormous lap traffic. Oh, Paul Coleman Jr. gonna play a factor. Duncan puts the chrome horn. 2 to go. How many times has Riley Duncan tried to put the bump and run, but has not yet to work? For a chance at the pole, coming to the white flag this time. 1 lap to go. Meanwhile, for third, it's still between Allen and McConaughey. Duncan, does he use the bumper? There's one. Jalbert loose off of turn 2. Duncan looks to the outside. They're going to be side by side. Trading paint off of turn 4. Jalbert versus Duncan. To the line. Give it to Jalbert.
Good one, Tyler.
Woo!
Just couldn't.
That was fun. There as Jalbert puts a Tokyo Drift on. Celebrating. Duncan says good race to Jalbert. Hallinar rounds out the top 3. They transfer on to the feature tomorrow.
Alrighty, drivers, that concludes heat race number 1. If you finished in the top 3, congratulations. If you finished in first place, please report to the Discord for your post-race interview with the Big Dick Cast. Drivers, if you did not finish in the top 3, we have 4 more of these at 5, 7, 9, and 11 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to check out those t-shirts, especially if you also stand with Letto.
And we are going to talk with Tyler Jalbert right now. Jalbert, it's Marty up in the booth. You got a copy as he lights them up. Do some donuts.
Yeah, I got you, Marty.
That was a fun race between you and Duncan. Lap traffic really played a factor in those final laps. How fun was that battle in the final laps?
That's the biggest thing I like about Oxford. You can kind of rub and get away with it and have a blast overall, so it wasn't too bad. I like that style of racing.
Did you expect Duncan there to put the bump and run
After
on you
review,
there in
just
the final
confirmed
laps?
the 0425.
I figured he'd try, so I tried to make it as hard as I could for him to do it. So.
Yep, and race control said no action taken from what I was hearing there. This is your home track too. You're a track champion at Oxford Plains. Give us the expectations for tomorrow.
Hopefully it goes like that heat race. You know, I figured I'd try to qualify early to try to get everyone else on the team in. But I think, you know, as the whole team runs here normally, you know, or has before, so I think it should be a pretty good race for us.
All right, Tyler, we will move you back into your chat. Good luck to you the rest of the week, man, and best of luck tomorrow. Hopefully you get to start on the pole.
Yeah.
That is Tyler Jalbert. He continues to do the burnouts. Thank goodness he has not flipped it over yet, and now he puts it in tow. There you see, by the way, the best times on your screen. And we can tell you, by the way, nobody pitted amongst the top 3 in order to wait for another heat to get a faster lap time because the track temp will cool down later on in the night. So Jalbert, Duncan, and Hallinar all transfer in. McConaughey, Smith, Bear, Campbell, Dorso, Patrick, Sukup, Colgan, Poole, Miller, Letto, Friley, Jones, Gaudino, and Holes. That's your top 18. We'll go here through the rest of the results and show you 19 through 22. Ignore 23 and 24. So a fun heat race number 1. If that's the way we begin heat 1, I think we are in for a fun day today of qualifying. This broadcast has been a presentation of XCAL Racing, the premier leader in street stock iRacing.